Once upon a time, in the windy hills of Harmony Hollow, lived a happy hedgehog named Harley. Harley had honey-colored fur, a round belly from too many berries, and a laugh that made the whole hill giggle. One morning, Harley woke up with something strange. "Hic! Oh no!" Harley whispered. "I've got the hill hiccups." The hill hiccups were no ordinary hiccups. When Harley hiccuped, the grass would bounce, the clouds would swirl, and even the daisies would dance. Harley rushed to his friend, Hattie the hare, who was hopping nearby. "Try holding your breath and spinning in a hoop," said Hattie. Harley held his breath, spun in a big hoop made from vines, and shouted, "Ha! Heck! Still!" The hiccup stayed. Next, he visited Hugo the humble hawk, gliding high above the trees. "Try drinking honey upside down," Hugo suggested. So Harley did. He hung from a branch and slurped sweet honey from a leaf. Whew! Heck! Still no luck. Finally, Harley huffed up the tallest hill and sat quietly. The wind whispered soft H sounds all around. He closed his eyes, took a slow breath, and listened. His heartbeat slowed. His breath got softer. And then, nothing. No hiccups. The hillside was him, and the wind carried his calm H breath through the valley. Hattie and Hugo cheered. "You did it, Harley!" They laughed. From that day on, whenever someone in Harmony Hollow had hiccups, they followed Harley's trick: slow breath, quiet heart, and a hug from the hill. On a calm blue sea, there was a tiny island shaped just like the letter I. It had one tall hill and one little dot-shaped tree on top. Living on that island was Iggy, a clever iguana with ice blue scales, curious eyes, and a bright yellow satchel full of sketches and snacks. Iggy loved ideas. Every morning, he woke up and asked, "What idea will I find today?" But one day, the island felt quiet. Too quiet. No new ideas. No silly songs. No funny inventions. Just stillness. Iggy scratched his head with his tail. Maybe the ideas have gone missing. So, Iggy packed his notebook, an ink pen, and an icy fruit bar. He set off to explore the island's secret places. He climbed the ice-shaped hill and slid down into the idea caves, where glowing idea bugs usually buzz. But the bugs were gone. On the cave wall was the clue: imagination is hiding. Invite it back. How do I invite imagination? Iggy whispered. He sat. He thought. He doodled a big dancing octopus in his notebook. Suddenly, zing! A tiny idea bug blinked back into sight. Then Iggy hummed a silly tune. In the jungle, in my shoes, I saw an iguana eating glue. Another idea bug twinkled to life. He made up stories, drew nonsense creatures, invented invisible instruments. With every imaginative thing he did, the island lit up again. The cave glowed, the hill hummed, the tree on top sparkled with ideas. Iggy laughed and shouted, "Imagination lives when I play, pretend, and invent." From that day on, Iggy never waited for ideas to come. He invited them with joy, play, and creativity. Deep in a bouncy, leafy land lived a joyful jaguar named Jasper. Jasper had jade green eyes, golden fur with shiny jelly bean-shaped spots, and a tail that could jump rope all by itself. Jasper didn't walk anywhere he jumped. He jumped to breakfast, jumped to play, even jumped in his dreams. His home was a jumping jungle, where everything bounced. The trees bounced, the flowers bounced. Even the jelly that grew on the jelly vines bounced. But one morning, the jungle was still. The jelly berries stopped jiggling. The trampoline tree stopped springing. The jungle had lost its jump. Jasper was shocked. No jumping, no jiggling, no joy. He grabbed his jumpy hat and zipped to find out why. First, he visited Juno the joyful giraffe, who looked droopy. "I tried to jump and spill my jam," she sniffled. Then he found Jayla the joyful jellyfish floating low in a puddle. "No jiggle," she sighed. "No joy." Then Jasper found a note hidden under a jungle pebble. It read, "Jumping is only joyful when everyone joins in." Jasper blinked. "I've been jumping all by myself." He had an idea. He gathered every animal in the jungle and said, "Today, we jump together. Everyone gets a turn." He taught the frogs to jump jam jars, the turtles to jiggle in jello, even the sloths to do a joy hop very, very slowly. And guess what? The jungle woke up. The vines swung, the puddles danced, and the jelly vines jiggled again. Jasper looked around, heart full. Jumping is better when it's joyful and shared. In a quiet little village, there lived a curious koala named Kiki. Kiki had soft gray fur, big round ears, and always wore a tiny purple backpack filled with snacks and crayons. One day, Kiki found a sparkling key buried under a pile of crunchy leaves near her favorite gum tree. Attached to the key was a tag that read, "To the kingdom of kindness, only the kind may enter." "Ooh," Kiki gasped. "A secret kingdom?" She packed extra banana chips, grabbed her crayon map, and followed the winding path marked with kites tied to branches. Along the way, she met a tired kangaroo named Kip. "My cart lost a wheel," Kip sighed. Without hesitation, Kiki offered, "I can help you carry your packages." Together, they bounced down the trail, sharing jokes and banana chips. Later, a kingfisher with a sore wing chirped sadly by the creek. Kiki gently wrapped his wing with a leaf bandage and sang him a silly song to make him smile. At the end of the path, they reached two tall gates carved with K's. The gates sparkled and spoke, "To enter here, you must be kind." "Did you help those you did find?" Kiki smiled and nodded. "Yes, I helped Kip and the kingfisher." The gate swung open, revealing a glowing meadow filled with kindness creatures, koalas, kittens, kangaroos, and more laughing, playing, and helping one another. A kind queen approached and placed a soft crown of daisies on Kiki's head. "Welcome to the kingdom of kindness, brave Kiki. Because of your kind heart, you may stay as long as you wish." Kiki beamed. "I think I'll make a kindness map so others can find this too." And from that day on, Kiki became the official kindness guide, helping friends, drawing maps, and always keeping an extra banana chip to share. In the middle of a misty meadow, there lived a cheerful mouse named Milo. Milo had soft gray fur, bright black eyes, and the most magnificent ears that could hear the tiniest of sounds, even a mouse whisper. But what Milo loved most in the world was music. Each morning, he played his tiny maracas and sang songs that echoed through the fields. But one day, the music suddenly stopped. All the melodies in the meadow were gone. No birds chirped, no bees buzzed, not even the mole drummed on his mushroom drums. "Something's wrong," Milo said, clutching his maracas. He followed the sound of silence up the mountain of music, a magical place where music was born. Along the way, he met a moose wearing mittens who lost his melody. A monkey was missing cymbals. A magpie with a broken mic. Together, they climbed higher, passing moonflowers, mirror rocks, and a sleepy marmot humming in his dreams. At the mountain's peak, they found a glowing music box, but it was locked with a mysterious riddle. I start and end with the same sound. I make you move and spin around. I'm made of notes and beats that sway. What am I? Come on, just say. Milo smiled and shouted. Music was a magical chime. The music box burst open, and a wave of melodies flowed across the mountain. Trumpets tooted, violins sang, and even the clouds danced. The sound rushed back down to the meadow and beyond. From that day on, Milo and his friends made music every morning, filling the world with magic, joy, and motion. And whenever someone asked where the music came from, they smiled and said, "From a mouse with maracas who believed in the magic of M." In a quiet village nestled between two noisy hills, there lived a clever girl named Nora. She had nut brown hair, navy blue pajamas, and loved taking naps with her cat, Nibbles. But one night, Nora woke up to a strange tickling on her nose. Achoo! She blinked in the dark. Something had nibbled her nose. She lit her night light, looked under her bed, and tiptoed across the nursery until she saw its tiny glowing footprints shaped like noses. "That's nuts," she whispered. But Nibbles the cat meowed nervously and pointed his paw toward the open notebook on Nora's desk. Inside was a riddle that shimmered in silver ink. When the moon is new and nearly high, nibbling noses dance and fly. But only one with no fear at night can solve our nibble-nosy plight. Nora smiled. She was not afraid. Grabbing her net, she followed the trail outside, past the noodly trees, through a field of nodding daffodils, and into a nest made of napkins and noodles. There she found them, the nose nibblers, tiny floating creatures with nostrils for wings, giggling as they zipped through the air. "What are you doing?" asked Nora, holding back a giggle. "We nibble noses to keep the dream sweet," squeaked the leader, a little one named Noki. "But last night someone had a nightmare, and we lost our way." With a nod, Nora helped them rewrite their map on a napkin, using neon pens from her backpack. They cheered and zoomed off, leaving sparkles and soft nose kisses behind. The next morning, Nora woke up with the brightest dream in her heart and no more nibbling. Nibbles purred beside her, his nose untouched. And from that night on, Whenever a child had a good dream, they might just thank the brave girl named Nora and the magical nibblers of N.